I really enjoy vibey games, like Jet Set Radio. The sequel of Jet Set Radio, also known as Jet Set Radio Future, Over. And there are new upcoming games with this style, like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk from the same creators of Lethal League. And I'm super fucking excited for the game. I'm gonna play like there's no tomorrow. And about a month ago, I discovered this game called Sludge Life. I saw the trailer. And instantly I was like, wow, this is a super vibey game. Has a lot of quirky stuff, weird stuff happening all around, and I really fuck with that. That's pretty cool. But what I didn't expect is what actually is. The game of course has these moments, like these weird moments, funny moments, quirky moments. But it's not that. You play as Ghost. At least that's what the computer intro says. And you start in a container, and it looks heavily used. There's graffiti cans on the ground, even soda cans, and a ashtray. So we can assume that he or she has a self-deprecating lifestyle. And he's a tagger. He tags ghosts. That's his graffiti. And they are very cool. They look very nice and very vibey. And you're probably wondering, what's the objective of the game? Actually, none. Because the game is not linear. You don't have a specific objective to do in the world. And you'll probably start by thinking that you should tag the world. That's what you're supposed to do. And if you think that, you're not totally wrong, because tagging is optional. There are also collectibles like snails and diamonds, even though I don't really know what each of these do. Music CDs with the songs from the OST? We gotcha. And, just saying, they are bangers. Bangers, like you can also catch mushrooms. The ones that will make you have one hell of a trip, you know. And this will result in the main character having a out-of-body experience. And you can explore the world by flying. Totally a different perspective. But have in mind, the distance is limited and also the time, so use it wisely. To progress through the game, you need 4 objects. These are a camera, really obvious what it does, a glider that you will glide, which is useful because you really need to get to some hard places with that. A warp machine, that is basically quick save, quick load, so you don't have to climb the shit all over again. You just bam, and you fell, do the other bang, and you're on top again. Incredibly useful. And last, the vandalize. When you threw these on the ground, the guys will look in the direction of the nearest tag. And to finish the game, you need these 4 items. Actually, you don't really need all the items, only the warp and the glider. Those are the only ones needed. Now, what does the story tell you about the world? When you get out of the container, you're right beside the ocean. The interesting thing is that the ocean is basically petroleum. And the air feels incredibly polluted, because it's foggy, really foggy. First impression of the world? It's a dystopian one. Still, you move past it. You hear the game's soundtrack throughout the world through radios, which really immerses you. When there are radios, you're listening to bangers while you tag. You feel alive. It's like It's like listening to music while you play your favorite video game, or when you're watching a show, or whatever you enjoy doing. Doesn't matter. But when there's none, you just hear the sounds of the world. That are depressing and lonely. You feel like you hate this place, you just want to get out of it. Similar to when you stop leisure time and remember that you have to go to the monotony of the real world. Because we live in a society. Sorry, it's hard to say this with a straight face. This is the story the game tries to portray. You learn about the world by talking to the people, they express their discontentment about the place and who runs it. It's even more clear when you go to the mayor's apartment surrounded by wealth and he's taking a jacuzzi right after taking a little bite of a bird that can be found on the outskirts of the city, while a protest is occurring. This shows the difference between the average worker and the mayor, where the ones on the bottom work for the mayor to have his me time. I don't know if making a critique about fascism was their intent. With this you only want to get out of this place. But is there an outside? Even though there's a person who says that there is life outside, he seems pretty sure, although you know nothing about the outside. If there is even one. Just like us in real life, discontent with our rulers, but we can't get out of Earth. Also, ghosts can't get out of this place. But you meet people with different thoughts, different views of this city. Some take notice of the little things, like the girl you find on top of a rock in the ocean. She tells you that the place rocks, and she climbed every object there. Then you also have Uzi, another tagger who questions if doesn't it feel like this whole dump is about to crumble. Even with all this, you still feel determined to get out of this junk. After exploring the city and get everything you need, you remember that you passed a titanium door with a camera that closes it once you get too close. At least this is what happened to me. So you use the warp to get close to the door. Then you back away, the door opens, warp into the place, and go in. After this, you'll find a spaceship. It looks like a spaceship, okay? Hop in, fly around the city, and step on the gas to the horizon. This ending felt hopeful, and I thought it was fire. I really enjoyed it. Notice I said this ending, because there are in total 3 endings. The one I just told you about was the good ending. There's still 2 endings left, the bad and the weird. I just learned about this while I was searching about the collectibles, and it was such a delightful discovery. So, let's talk about the bad one. Instead of climbing your way up to the top of the building, you remember that there was an abandoned building on the right side. So you decide to go to the thingy that makes you jump high and glide to your destination. You may be wondering, yes, you die if you don't have the glider. I tried it. Once you get inside the building, you'll see a man sitting on a table and you'll say something like, people say this place is radioactive, but look at me. I'm a fine looking bloke in it. Some shit like that. You decide to ignore him. After that, you go to the top of the building, find an entrance to the other part of the facility, go down a bunker-like structure, throw the warp to block the lower laser, crouch, go in. You will encounter a bomb, and I am going to read what I wrote some time ago for this review. Tired of the systematic oppression that the people suffer, you decide to press the button. I know, kinda cringe in it. When it explodes, the game will start bugging and then crashes. The actual game, not kidding. Immediately upon turning on the game on again, the startup bugs and asks you if you want to recover the save. When you do that, everything will return to normal and you get an achievement. Yeah, wow. Now about the weird one. This is where it gets tricky. To get this one, you must do all the tags. Some of them need a little bit of effort to understand, but I will not tell you, you lazy person. Find out by yourself. Once you get them all, you go to King I's place. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about him. The two oldest taggers that we know about are Tia and King I's. Tia only enjoyed tagging, but King I's stopped enjoying that and started to want to tag 100%. One day, he snapped, ripped out his own eyes, and he started wearing a blindfold. Dramatic, ain't it? Now, this is basically the past that is told through Tia. When you go talk to her, when you get her combo tag. And now let's move on. To get a weird ending, you need to get 100% tags. I think you understand where this is going. Once you get to King I's place, he's gone. Where did he go? You approach his blindfold and wear it. You start tripping a lot, a crown drops, and you grab it. With this, we can consider that Ghost assumed King I's place as the king of tagging. Now, to conclude the video, I only want to give my honest thoughts about the game. I fucking loved it. In the beginning, I wasn't really getting it, because it was all about learning the story through the people and how much they are oppressed by such a capitalist environment. The uncertainty if it will get better, and if it's better to run away without knowing if anything outside that place exists, or simply destroy it to the ground so nothing bad comes out of it. This got me to want to know more about the place and what everyone says about it. I know the political intake, I know cringe, I know. Please give me a pass, just this time. But moving on, I'm sure that not everyone will enjoy it because of the vagueness when you start. But still, give it a shot. It's a short game. It took me about 2 hours to finish it, and I'm happy I did. Vibey games are scarce, and to appreciate a little more of this style made me happy. So right now, I'm going to return to my place. The voice. It's comfy in here. I don't know. I might need some furniture, you know. It feels a little bit empty, I guess. And while I'm in here, I will also be thinking about my next review and try not to take too long. But thank you for watching. Remember, vibey games are life. Yeet.